The National Electrical Code Section 225.19d addresses oil-insulated transformers and their installation requirements, specifically focusing on safety measures and distances from buildings. NEC 225.19d mandates that transformers containing flammable liquids must be equipped with proper safeguards. These safeguards are further detailed in the subsequent sections. NEC 225.19d directs installers to use a transformer enclosure that adheres to the specifications outlined in 225.19d. The NEC 225.19d elaborates on the construction of these enclosures. The enclosure must be made of non-combustible materials to prevent the spread of fire. It should be designed to prevent external fires from entering the enclosure, safeguarding the transformer and surrounding area. To prevent the accumulation of hazardous gases within the enclosure, it must be vented to the outdoors at both the top and bottom, promoting continuous air circulation. NEC 225.19d stipulates the minimum distance between a transformer containing flammable liquid and the nearest building. This distance should be no less than 25 feet, which is approximately 7,620 mm. However, there are exceptions to this rule. The first exception is if the transformer is specifically identified for lesser clearance, meaning it has been designed and tested to operate safely to closer proximity to buildings. The second exception is if the transformer is protected as provided in 225.19d, meaning it is housed in an enclosure that meets the requirements previously mentioned, providing adequate fire protection and ventilation. In addition to the NEC requirements, there are other important considerations. Firstly, local building codes and zoning regulations may impose additional requirements for transformer placement. These local regulations could specify different distances from buildings, mandate additional safety measures, or address other aspects of transformer installation. Secondly, the type of oil used in the transformer can influence the required distance. Different types of oil have varying flammability characteristics, and some may require greater separation distances than others. Thirdly, the size and voltage of the transformer can also affect the required distance. Larger transformers and those operating at higher voltages may pose a greater fire risk and thus necessitate greater clearances. Given the complexity of these regulations and the potential for variations based on local codes, oil type, and transformer specifications, it is strongly recommended to consult with a qualified electrician or engineer. They can assess the specific circumstances of the installation, interpret the applicable codes and regulations, and ensure that the transformer is installed safely and in compliance with all requirements. This consultation is crucial for ensuring safety and preventing potential fire hazards. In summary, when installing an oil-filled transformer, several factors must be considered to ensure compliance with safety regulations and prevent potential hazards. Firstly, you must adhere to the National Electrical Code, specifically Section 225.19d, which outlines requirements for oil-insulated transformers. Secondly, if the transformer contains flammable liquids, ensure that it is provided with proper safeguards. Thirdly, proper safeguards include installing a transformer enclosure that meets specific construction and ventilation requirements. Fourthly, the enclosure must be constructed of non-combustible materials. Fifthly, the enclosure must be designed to prevent external fires from entering. Sixthly, the enclosure must be vented at the top and bottom to prevent gas accumulation. Seventhly, maintain a minimum distance of 25 feet between the transformer and any nearby building unless exceptions apply. Eighthly, exceptions to the 25-foot rule include transformers specifically identified for lesser clearance and transformers protected by compliant enclosures. Ninthly, consider local building codes and zoning regulations, which may have additional requirements. Tenthly, consider the type of oil used in the transformer, as different oils have different flammability characteristics. 11thly, consider the size and voltage of the transformer, as larger and higher voltage transformers may require greater clearances. Finally, consult with a qualified electrician or engineer to determine the specific requirements for location and installation. Ignoring these considerations could lead to code violations, increased fire risk, and potential safety hazards. Remember, safety should always be the top priority when working with electrical equipment. The NEC provides minimum safety standards, and adherence to these standards is essential for protecting people and property. Additionally, local regulations may impose stricter requirements, so it is crucial to be aware of and comply with all applicable codes. In the context of electrical installations and safety, understanding the relevant codes and standards is crucial for ensuring the well-being of people and property. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, serves as a comprehensive guide for safe electrical practices. It's important to remember that the NEC is not a design manual, but rather a set of minimum safety requirements. Adherence to the NEC is essential for preventing electrical hazards such as fires, shocks, and explosions. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect the latest advancements in technology and safety practices. It's important for electricians, engineers, and other professionals in the electrical industry to stay current with the latest edition of the NEC. Local jurisdictions may adopt the NEC with or without amendments. It's crucial to be aware of the specific requirements in the area where you are working. Building codes are another important consideration in electrical installations. Building codes regulate the construction and occupancy of buildings, and they often include provisions related to electrical safety. Zoning regulations can also impact electrical installations. Zoning regulations specify how land can be used and may restrict the placement of certain types of equipment, such as transformers. When planning an electrical installation, it's essential to obtain the necessary permits and approvals from local authorities. This will ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. A qualified electrician or engineer can help navigate the permitting process and ensure that the installation is safe and compliant. Electrical inspections are typically required to verify that an installation meets the requirements of the NEC and other applicable codes. An electrical inspector will examine the installation to identify any potential hazards or code violations. It's important to address any issues identified by the inspector promptly. Failure to do so can result in fines or other penalties. In addition to complying with codes and regulations, it's important to follow safe work practices when performing electrical work. Always de-energize circuits before working on them. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and eye protection. Be aware of potential hazards, such as exposed wires and energized equipment. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, do not attempt to do so. Hire a qualified electrician to perform the work safely and correctly. Electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following safe practices and complying with codes and regulations, we can help prevent electrical hazards and protect people and property.